City of Stevens Point Special Common Council Meeting, recorded August 26, 2021.
At 5 o'clock, I will call the special Common Council meeting to order. Clerk Yanter, would you please call the roll?
Shore.
Here.
Keemer.
She's here.
Zarazua.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Slawinski.
He was here, he just bumped off. He might be having trouble connecting, but
He
for
is-
now, he's not here. We'll wait till he reconnects. He was connected, and then it looks like he dropped off.
Okay. Kneebone.
Here.
Leak.
Here.
Dalton, no.
Dalton is not here yet.
Okay. Fischler.
Here.
Morrow.
Okay, we still do have a quorum, so we will continue. Clerk Yanter, just to be clear, you did contact all of the alders that were available, and everyone was able to make the meeting, is that correct?
Correct.
No one is excused. Okay, we will keep an eye in case they attend virtually. And you have one item on the agenda for tonight. As you know, District 1 Alderperson Jennings has resigned effective August 19th, and the council has the authority to fill this opening. Clerk Yanter included a memo outlining the options. City Attorney Beveridge is here to answer any questions, as is Clerk Yanter on past practices. Clerk Yanter, do you want to go over the options, or City Attorney Beveridge go over those options again for the council? Because according to the way we're operating now, we need a motion before we can discuss.
Mayor Leza.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure you can hear me. I just got dropped off for some reason, but I'm here.
Yep, I saw that, and we made note of that, and you are coming in
Okay, thanks.
loud and clear enough.
All right, good, thanks.
I'll make a motion if you want.
Okay, Alder Shore?
I move that the council fill the seat until the next spring election, which is to say for the,
April 2022.
I second that.
Okay, seconded by Leak. Now, discussion.
I personally just feel that it makes a lot of sense to not have a vacancy, but we should also give the voters a chance to vote and have their voice as soon as feasible. So April is not too far off,
Okay.
and seems like a perfectly acceptable option to me.
Thank you. Alder Johnson, you have your hand up.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I appreciate the motion. When I was first appointed to council in February 2016, I believe it was, I was selected, the council at that time selected and opted to appoint someone for the remainder of the term, and it was Brian Van Stippen at the time. So I didn't have to run in April, and so we have a precedent that filling a vacancy for the remainder of the term for that seat. We've already got a precedent for that, and I would suggest that we follow that precedent. Thank you.
Thank you. Clerk Ginter, you were doing some research. We also have precedent on the other options, is that correct?
Yes. We had alderpersons that happened to be appointed until when their term was expiring the next April. Also for city clerk, looking back for, it's not alderperson, but looking back for city clerk, Paul Petrusky was appointed in September of 2018 until April of 2019, and that term would have not have started until 2021.
Gotcha. Okay, Ginger Keemer, Alder Keemer.
I have two questions, I guess, based on if we did move forward. Whoops, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My first question is, if someone is appointed until this upcoming April election 2022, is there an additional cost to that? And then My second question is, would that just be a one-year position until the regular election cycle?
So this would basically be through option one that was in Clerk Yenter's memo. The costs, there would be a bit of an additional cost, but it would be minimal. And then, I'm sorry, your second question?
If there's an election in 2022 for District 1, would that just be a one-year term?
Yes.
Until the regular elections? So that person would, I mean, whoever wins that cycle would need to run again in 1 year,
Yes.
essentially? Okay.
Okay, looks like the speaker list is exhausted, so I will, oh, I'm sorry.
Alder Slawinski.
I wanted to give the.
Let's go to Slawinski first, and then we'll go to Alder Kneebone.
All right, I just want to speak in favor of the motion that's on the floor. I strongly believe that elected representatives should be elected by the people and not by the common council or by a mayor. So I am in support of appointing an individual until the April 21 election, in which then that person will be elected by the people of that district. Thank you.
Thank you. Alder Kneebone.
It's difficult to mount a campaign, and it's very difficult to do 2 campaigns in basically a year. My concern with having the person elected in 2022, they have to turn right around in about 4 months and start running again. Had the alder not resigned, there would be someone to fill that term, and no one in the district would have had a chance to vote again until April 2023 anyway. But, I mean, that's what I'm thinking in terms of whoever gets appointed, the burden that it's gonna put on them to raise money twice in a year, to run twice in a year, to do all of the campaign things twice in about a year. So, those are my thoughts.
Okay. And I see no one else wishing to speak. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It's okay, I just raised my hand. I feel like we always have these like strange situations that we're trying to decide what is the best option. I do think that it is a hardship for a person to have to run 2 years in a row for this position, that, you know, we know it's a hard job and it takes a lot of time, and campaigning takes a lot of time. But I also think, looking at public perception, that's where I do think it's important for us to put it in front of the voters as soon as is reasonable. I think reasonable is waiting until the election of 2022 instead of having a special election. But I do think for the voters in that district, they want to be able to have the choice, because the previous alder, yes, they would have waited till the next election, but they chose that alder who was there, whereas we're choosing who's there. So again, I just think it makes sense to let someone pick as soon as possible.
Just one
Let
quick
the
follow-up.
district pick.
Alder Shore, and then Alder Kneebone again.
On this exact topic of the sort of burdens of campaigning, I mean, another thing that is in my mind anyway is that they wouldn't necessarily face an opponent in either, but all the more the results of the 21 could affect what people do in 22. Where this kind of burden of campaign has come in a stronger way for me is with respect to February primaries. That really compressed schedule is something I'm a little more sensitive to than potentially having to do it twice in that time span. Thanks.
Okay.
And
Alder Kneebone again.
any individual that applies to be appointed would know in advance they were going to have to run again. So if they really didn't want to do it, they probably wouldn't apply in the first place. So
Gotcha.
I'm okay with that.
Thank you. And Alder Fischler.
Yeah, I agree as well that appointing, instead of leaving the position vacant is definitely in the best interest of District 1. And then I also agree that they should be able to vote as soon as reasonably necessary to make sure that they get to choose who's in office. So, thank you.
Thank you. Pretty sure we're done now. The motion before you is to have the council appoint until the next April election, which would be April of 2022. If you're in favor, you will vote yes. If you are opposed, you will vote no. And Alder Kiemer, you have another comment?
I have one final question. How many candidates would need to run next year for there to be a primary?
That's
Is if there's more than 2?
That's a trick question, because you get to
Okay.
determine that as an alderperson. The council,
Okay.
as a body, determines if there's 15 candidates, you can choose to not have a primary.
Okay. All right, that's my last question. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're good. If you are in favor, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. And the clerk will call the roll.
Shore,
Aye.
Keimer,
Hi.
Zarazua,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Slawinski,
Aye.
Kneebone,
Aye.
Leek,
Aye.
Dalton is absent, Fischler,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
By unanimous consent, that is the process that is chosen. Tomorrow, we will get information out on the website and through the media to solicit for anyone who wishes to be considered. And at some point, probably keep it open for a couple of weeks. We probably would be looking after council for a special meeting to have you, as a council, interview and choose the appointment to fill the unexpired term for District 1 through April 22. Thank you all very much. Have a good night.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.